Alright, so I recently acquired this sander in unknown condition. And so I placed it on the back of my side-by-side and I tied it down and I tested the systems individually. The vibrator, the rotator, and the auger inside, and the light, and everything works. And then I hooked it up with the box, and the auger had problems, and then it caused everything else to have issues. So this is just temporary until I order switches. But I've had problems with the control boxes before, and they're very expensive. So I ran the wires just to hook it up. And again, just as a temporary trial. So I got this thing's wired to this battery, and then it's wired in here. So this will turn on. But I made direct connections for the auger and the vibrator. So there's the, hold on a sec. There's the vibrator. And there's the auger. Hold on. And then through the box, I can still control the distributor there, the spinner. I'll turn that on. That's on. And the light. So now I can get it going, and then I can run around and sand. So again, this is a very temporary setup, but it works. So I will wire this in to the system battery, and I ordered switches so that I can switch the auger and the vibrator on. Now, unless I buy a potentiometer, I'm losing the adjustable rate on the auger, so I'll get the full or calcium chloride flow, but I can't control the spin rate. So how far it flies out. But for me, that's a good solution for what I'm using it for. So anyone else that's had problems with those boxes, basically the two switches that I'm going to order is a very inexpensive solution. And even if this box completely didn't work, I would order 4 switches and just control it that way and have it wired in. Now, like I said, this is a temporary. This is just a battery for trial. The real battery is here, and I will wire it into that, and I might put the switches here, but hopefully that's helpful. Little redneck engineering, sorry, rural engineering, I'm calling it, for anyone looking to try to get stuff working on the cheap and have it be more reliable. Because if those switches fail, I'll just order more. I ordered a 50 amp switch. This uses a 70 amp fuse, so I'll keep track of how hot it gets, but hopefully that'll be good enough. Okay, so I just want to go through how I did this. I traced these wires back through the harness, so I tested everything, so I know that the green and the blue wires power the auger. And if you don't have the harness, you can hook onto these directly, but I had the harness, so I followed it back into the cab, and the the blue is hot, the green is ground. So I'm going to put the switch on the blue, and this will just be hooked to the battery. And then it's going to be the same this is for the vibrator. So now there's 2 blacks, so I had to follow this actual wire to make sure I had the right one. But again, the black is ground, and then the red wire with the yellow stripe was a hot. So this is what I put the alligator clip on, but this is where the that I take on and off, but this is where the switch is going to go, and the black will stay wired to the battery. So that's how I did it. because I didn't mention that. But the other ones are still going through the box, so I can use the box. But if they weren't, I would do the same thing and put them on switches also. And I'll keep everyone updated.